What's up, guys? I know I'm really late to the happy 2021 gang, but happy new year, and this time I have a really good excuse. I promise. So currently it is 11 a.m. and I just made myself a cup of coffee. It's been a pretty slow morning because I didn't have much work to get done today, so I thought it was the perfect time to film a video and kind of give you guys a live update. This process of actually getting relocated has taken around 2 years. We started this process back in 2019 and it took almost 2 years for it to actually happen. But it worked out so beautifully and timing was so perfect, really God ordained and quite miraculous in many ways. If you do want to know the whole 2-year process that took place, let me know in the comments below or on Instagram. My sister and I decided that we wanted to go do our masters together. But initially it began with a lot of research and deciding which colleges to apply to, because we kind of planned it so that we would be in the same university. To answer a few questions that I've been getting, one is, where am I right now? I am attending a university in New York, specifically in a town called Rochester. And if any of y'all know of Rochester, you probably know that it's really, really cold during the December, Jan and Feb time. We landed here in the beginning of Jan. Around the time that it started to snow, we were going from Bangalore, which has the coldest of about 11 degrees, to a place that is minus 18 degrees. And in this last week, it has been that cold. There have been quite a few snowstorms here, and although it's been incredibly beautiful, it's been really cold for us to deal with. So many people have been asking me why I moved here in the first place. We both received scholarships from the same university. We had just about enough time to set things up for us here, and our first semester was actually remote because of the whole COVID pandemic. So we couldn't travel at all in 2020, but we actually started our program in August of 2020. But this is our first sem where we are actually on campus. Continuing my study from what I did in my bachelor's program, but I was able to find a unique program in this university that I am at now. Because of the whole COVID pandemic situation, travel was obviously restricted and a lot of visa processes took a lot of time to complete. We had to take 3 courses and do it completely online. It was really difficult because classes generally would happen in the morning EST time, but in India would be late at night. And my sister even had classes that were at 2 a.m. in the morning. So that was a real struggle at that time, because we had to, even though we were not living in the US, we had to readjust our schedules to fit the EST time. And then once we left India in Jan and came here, you would think it would be easier, but it really wasn't. I think overall that was a pretty successful semester for us both, even though it was our first semester and the most tough one by far. It was pretty rewarding to still do it online. We do not stay on an on-campus housing, we're staying off-campus because it kind of works out economically for us that way. This news did surprise many people. So towards the end, only a couple of my friends knew, and I was blessed enough to actually get to meet my closest friends right before I left. I'm really glad and grateful to them for being there for me during a really, really tough time. It was a huge emotional roller coaster because at so many points we didn't know if it was actually going to happen. Leaving India and coming here means that we had to quarantine for a certain number of days before we had to get tested for the second time. It was hard because we had to manage in a new house without supplies to live on. But thankfully, we had some really awesome people who we knew here who really helped us a lot. We have been in Rochester for about 3 weeks now. I think next week it would be a month since we've been here. I think this place is amazing. It's beautiful. The trees are a little bit bare now, but it's so full of nature. Right now it's so full of snow, and I personally love snow. It's been really cold to adjust to, like I said before. So my first semester was the university's first time that they were doing all courses online also. I think now the campus circulation, the rules are more strict here. You have to wear masks everywhere you go. COVID numbers have gone down drastically, and my university even does testing weekly for students. So they're kind of keeping it in check, and they're doing a really great job at facilitating movement and circulation on campus. As soon as we got here, we had to stay inside for a few days until we got tested, and then we did get tested and those results came out negative also, so we could break from that quarantine and go out, get some supplies, go visit Walmart. We haven't traveled in New York just yet, but I think that is a plan. It's not been that cold the last 2 days. But last week it was really low. Last week it was about minus 18 degrees and there were snowstorms almost every day. So it was really hard to be on campus and walk from one building to another in the snowstorm. So since we got to Rochester, we've been doing a little bit of traveling. We've gone to a lake park, we've gone to a beach, which ideally was not the best idea because it was really cold, but it's also really fun. And we went to see a waterfall, but we couldn't actually get to the top of the waterfall because it was covered in snow and we had to cross a stream, and it was really slippery and really dangerous, and the trail was covered in snow, so we couldn't really get to the top of the waterfall. We saw the stream of it at the base. I think that's it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video and this complete new life update of mine. Be sure to follow me on Instagram also. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel because it goes a long way for me, and I'll see you guys in my next video.